Have you ever kept something to yourself, only to realize later that it was your greatest advantage? In a world where everyone is eager to share every thought, every move, and every feeling, what happens when you choose to remain silent? Privacy isn't just about keeping secrets, it's a powerful shield that protects your progress, your energy, and your future. There's something undeniably powerful about silence, about keeping parts of yourself tucked away from the world. In a time when everyone is eager to broadcast their every move, thought, and feeling, choosing to remain private gives you a distinct advantage. Think about it. When people don't know much about you, they can't predict your next step, they can't interfere with your plans, and, most importantly, they can't use your own words against you. Privacy, then, is more than just solitude, it's power. We often believe that openness equates to trust. We think that sharing everything with others makes us more connected, more authentic. But the truth is, not everyone who listens to you has your best intentions at heart. Some people listen, not because they care, but because they're looking for weaknesses. They smile in your face, nod their heads, and act like they genuinely care. But, in reality, they may one day use what they've learned to manipulate you, judge you, or spread rumors about you. The less others know about you, the less power they have over you. Look around you. It's evident in today's world. People are quick to post their struggles online, revealing their deepest secrets to those they barely know. Then, they wonder why they face betrayal, judgment, or unexpected obstacles. When you hand out pieces of your life freely, you give others the power to shape your story. You give them access to your highs and lows. And before you know it, they start deciding your worth, your future, and what you deserve. But when you keep things to yourself, when you guard your emotions, plans, and personal life, you stay in control. No one can define you but you. Think about those who truly hold influence. They move in silence. They don't announce their every step. Yet they always seem 10 steps ahead. Why? Because they understand that privacy protects progress. The moment you speak too soon, the moment you reveal too much, you give others the chance to interfere. Whether it's jealousy, doubt, or sheer negativity, the more people know, the more they feel entitled to share their opinions, and not all opinions are worth hearing. You've likely noticed that the loudest people, the ones who always talk about their big plans, often accomplish the least. Why? Because talking about something gives a false sense of achievement. You say you're going to do something, people clap, and suddenly, it feels like you've already won. But words mean nothing without action. The real winners? They let their success speak for itself. They don't need validation from others or applause before they've earned it. They just get to work. And by the time people realize what they've been up to, the job is already done. Being private doesn't mean being secretive or shutting everyone out. It simply means being intentional with what you share and who you share it with. Not everyone deserves access to your struggles, your dreams, or your vulnerabilities. When you start filtering who gets to know what about you, you'll notice something remarkable. Your life becomes more peaceful. The noise fades, the drama disappears, and most importantly, your focus sharpens. There's a reason why some of the most successful people in the world are also the most private. They know that when you protect your personal life, you protect your energy, and when you protect your energy, you make room for growth, success, and happiness. So the next time you feel the urge to overshare, to tell the world your next move, or to vent about your struggles to anyone who will listen, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, do they really need to know this? Will this information serve me? Or will it expose me? Because once something is out there, you can never take it back. Privacy is power. Use it wisely. Not everyone who claps for you truly wants to see you win. Not everyone who smiles in your face has pure intentions. Some are there only to gather information, to wait for the right moment to use it against you. You have to be careful. You have to be selective. Not everyone deserves access to you. Some people will disguise themselves as friends, supporters, or allies, but deep down, they are only feeding their curiosity. They want to know how you think, what makes you happy, what makes you weak, and sometimes, they won't even use that information right away. They'll store it, keep it in their back pocket, and when the time is right, when jealousy creeps in or their insecurities take over, that's when they strike. That's when you start hearing things you never told anyone. Have you ever wondered why certain things in your life take a wrong turn after you've shared them? You had a plan, and everything was going well. But once you shared your progress with the wrong person, things started falling apart. That's not a coincidence. Some people don't even need to physically do anything to sabotage you. Just their energy, their negativity, their silent wish for your failure can be enough to shift things out of place. That's why you have to be mindful. Not paranoid, not fearful, but mindful. It's not about shutting people out completely. It's about recognizing who is genuinely for you and who is just there for the show. Some people only want to be close to you so they can say they were there when you made it. Others want to make sure you never get too far ahead of them. And then there are those who only keep you around because they like having someone to gossip about, someone to compare themselves to, or someone to secretly compete with. The problem is, you don't always recognize who these people are until it's too late, until they've already used what they know about you against you. As we discussed before, the power of silence lies in its ability to protect you, to guard your plans, emotions, and personal life from those who may seek to undermine you. And this isn't just about keeping secrets, it's about protecting your energy, your peace, and your progress. The truth is, when you give too much of yourself away, you give others the power to shape your narrative. By revealing too much, you offer them a chance to manipulate, judge, or even sabotage you. This is why it's so important to protect your personal life, your struggles, dreams, fears, and everything that makes you, you. The less others know about you, the less they can control or harm you. Don't assume that just because someone has been in your life for a long time, they are automatically loyal. Loyalty isn't determined by time spent together, it's determined by character. Some people will stand beside you for years, pretending to be your biggest supporter, all the while secretly hoping you don't succeed. Others will put on a supportive front, but when your back is turned, they speak doubt behind it. You need to pay attention to more than just words, you need to observe actions. When things start going well for you, do those around you genuinely celebrate your success? Or do they grow quiet? Do they offer unwavering support? Or do they make subtle comments that sow seeds of doubt? These signs are always present. You just have to be willing to notice them. At the end of the day, you don't owe anyone access to your life. You don't have to explain your moves, your goals, or your struggles to anyone who hasn't earned that trust. Your energy, your peace, your privacy, these are things you must guard fiercely. Once you give them away too freely, you lose control of how that information is used. And most of the time, by the time you realize you've told the wrong person too much, it's already too late. There's an undeniable power in a person who doesn't feel the need to constantly explain themselves, who moves with quiet confidence. Mystery, after all, commands respect. When people can't quite figure you out, when they don't know what you're thinking, when they can't predict your next move, they have no choice but to watch and wonder. And that sense of uncertainty, that curiosity, is what keeps you in control. People are naturally curious. They want to know what you're up to, what you're planning, how you feel about certain things. But more often than not, it's not because they care, it's because they want to measure you, categorize you, and find a way to fit you into a box. The moment they feel like they've figured you out, they stop paying attention. The mystery, the unknown, is what earns respect. This is why it's so crucial to leave some things unsaid, to keep parts of yourself private, and to ensure people never know enough to feel they can define you. Look at those who truly hold influence. It's not because they're the loudest in the room, nor because they're constantly proving themselves. It's because there's something about them that isn't immediately obvious. They don't reveal every thought, every decision, and they certainly don't explain themselves at every turn. That's what makes people stop and pay attention. The truth is, the more you say, the less impact your words have. When you're constantly explaining yourself, defending your every move, or trying to prove something to others, you make it easy for people to dismiss you. You make it easy for them to argue, question, and challenge you. But when you choose to say less, when you move with intention and let people wonder, you become untouchable. It's a subtle power, one that doesn't rely on loud proclamations but on quiet strength and purpose. Have you ever noticed how the people who talk the most are often taken the least seriously? That's because when you reveal too much, when you explain everything, when you let others in on every part of your life, They start to feel like they have a say in it. Once people think they have you figured out, they stop respecting you. But when they don't know what's coming next, when they can't predict your thoughts or categorize you, they start paying attention. They begin to respect the mystery of you. Being private doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means being intentional with what you share, choosing wisely who gets access to your life. Some believe that being open is a sign of strength, that by sharing everything, they're being real. But real strength doesn't lie in what you reveal. It lies in knowing that not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every plan needs to be shared. And not every emotion needs to be explained. When people don't know too much about you, they can't form a full picture of who you are. They can guess, they can assume, but they'll never be certain. And that uncertainty is where your power lies. It keeps people on edge, keeps them guessing, keeps them watching. When they respect the fact that they don't have you all figured out, they will have no choice but to respect you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that everyone around them needs to know everything about their life. They believe that sharing every detail, every success, every problem will bring them closer to others. But the truth is, the more you share, the more you invite unnecessary drama into your life. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your dreams, or your struggles. Have you ever noticed that some problems seem to get worse after you've shared them with the wrong person? Maybe you confided in a friend, thinking you were being supported, only to find that they twisted your words, spread rumors, or used your vulnerabilities against you. That's not by accident. Some people listen, not to understand, but to collect information. Some listen because they enjoy the entertainment of your struggles, especially when those struggles aren't their own. People love a good story. And if you make the mistake of constantly feeding them details about your life, you become the source of their entertainment. The more you give, the more they have to gossip about. Before you know it, your personal business is being twisted into something unrecognizable, passed around like a rumor. This is why silence, discretion, and privacy are your best defenses. The less you say, the fewer opportunities people have to twist your words, to spread your story, or to manipulate you. Picking up where we left off, we now explore the next crucial step, protecting your peace and your progress. The more you share, the more opportunities others have to interfere with your journey. By staying private and focused, you create space for growth without unnecessary distractions. When you open up to others, you give them the chance to twist your words, insert their opinions, or turn your personal achievements into public drama. And it's not just about keeping your struggles to yourself. It's just as important to keep your victories quiet. 2. Some people don't want to see you succeed. They act happy for you on the surface. But deep down, they're waiting for you to fail. The moment they see you doing well, they start to feel threatened. That's when the negativity starts to creep in. They'll tell you your plans won't work, that you're not as capable as you think, that your dreams are unrealistic, not because they truly believe that, but because they can't bear to see you surpass them. Have you ever noticed how some people only seem to show up when you're struggling, but disappear the moment things start going well for you? This is because some people are only comfortable when you're on the same level as them, or lower. When they see you rising, they feel insecure, and those insecurities often transform into negativity, doubt, subtle comments meant to shake your confidence. But if you keep things to yourself, if you move quietly, and if you don't give them a front row seat to your progress, they don't get a chance to interfere. At the end of the day, not everything needs to be shared, not every thought needs to be spoken, and not every situation needs outside opinions. True peace comes from knowing when to stay quiet, when to protect your energy, and when to keep your business to yourself. The less they know, the less they can interfere with your journey. People love to talk about what they're going to do. They announce their goals, their dreams, their next big move, thinking that by saying it out loud, they're somehow making it real. But the truth is, words mean nothing without action. The more you talk, the more you waste the energy that should be fueling your progress. The loudest person in the room is rarely the one making the biggest impact. It's the one who stays focused, who moves in silence, and who doesn't need validation before they take action. There's something undeniably powerful about someone who doesn't feel the need to explain themselves. They don't broadcast every step of their journey. They just do the work and let the results speak for themselves. Have you ever noticed how the most successful people rarely go around making announcements? They don't need to talk about what they're going to do. They simply show up one day. And suddenly, they're at the top. No warnings, no long speeches about their plans. Just results. That's because they understand that real progress happens in private. When you keep your plans to yourself, you eliminate distractions, you remove outside opinions, and you allow yourself the space to focus. The moment you start talking too much about what you're going to do, you open the door for negativity. Some people won't believe in you. They'll tell you it's impossible, that you're not ready, that you should think smaller, not because they know what's best for you, but because they can't see themselves doing what you're about to do. If they can't see themselves winning, they don't want you to win either. Others will act supportive to your face, but behind closed doors, they'll be hoping you don't follow through. Why? Because if you do succeed, it will remind them of everything they never had the courage to do. And then there are those who will steal your ideas. You might think you're sharing something exciting, something unique, only to see someone else run with it before you even get the chance to act. It happens all the time. People take what they hear and use it for themselves. And by the time you're ready to execute, they're already ahead. But if you keep your plans private, if you stay quiet and just do the work, nobody can take what they don't know about. Talking about your goals gives you a false sense of accomplishment. You say you're going to do something. People clap for you, and suddenly it feels like you've already won. But applause without action is just noise. The real work isn't in the announcement, it's in the execution. And the problem with announcing your plans too soon is that once the excitement fades, you're left with the hard part, the actual work. By then, you've already used up the energy that should have been propelling you forward. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to explain your moves, defend your decisions, or seek approval before you take action. The only proof you need is the result. When you succeed, people will see it. When you accomplish what you set out to do, there won't be a need for explanations. The work will speak for itself. And when that happens, the same people who doubted you, who ignored you, who didn't take you seriously, they'll be the ones asking how you did it. But by then, it won't matter, because you didn't do it for them. You did it for yourself. So don't waste time talking. Don't waste energy explaining. Don't give people the chance to interfere with your progress. Stay quiet, stay focused, and let your results do all the talking. There's something about keeping things to yourself that gives you an edge. When people don't know what's going on in your life, they can't interfere, they can't slow you down, and they can't plant seeds of doubt where your confidence should be growing. Protecting your privacy isn't about being secretive, it's about protecting your peace, your focus, and your ability to grow without unnecessary distractions. Because the truth is, the more people know, the more they feel entitled to have a say in your life. And not everyone's opinion is worth listening to. People love to give advice, whether they're qualified to or not. The moment you share your goals, your dreams, or even your struggles, you open the door for others to weigh in. Some will mean well, offering encouragement and support, but many will only add confusion, doubt, or negativity. They'll tell you why it won't work, why you're not ready, why someone else has already done it better. And even if you don't. Picking up from where we left off, let's now look at how protecting your energy and privacy creates the foundation for true growth. The less you let others shape your decisions, the more you can truly move forward on your own terms. There are always those who will try to make you second-guess yourself. They may not say it directly, but their words linger in your mind at the worst times, planting seeds of doubt when you should be moving forward. Their doubts creep in, making you question your worth, your plans, and your vision. And then, there are those who pretend to support you, giving you all the right smiles, nods, and words, but secretly, they hope you fail. Why? Because your success forces them to confront their own lack of progress. The moment you start improving, changing, growing, it challenges their own limitations. Rather than rising with you, they would rather keep you at their level. They would rather make you feel guilty for dreaming bigger, for wanting more, for refusing to settle. This is why it is crucial to protect your energy and your inner circle. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your plans, or your emotions. The more voices you allow into your life, the harder it becomes to hear your own. And once you let others' opinions shape your decisions, you lose control of your own path. You start hesitating when you should be moving forward. You begin seeking approval instead of trusting yourself. Some people will drain your energy without you even realizing it. They come to you with their problems, their complaints, and their negativity. Before you know it, your mind is cluttered with issues that have nothing to do with you. And the more you entertain these distractions, the less energy you have for your own growth. You can't build the future you desire if you're constantly weighed down by other people's expectations, opinions, and doubts. Growth requires focus, a laser-like discipline that not everyone will understand. And that's okay. You're not here to make everyone feel comfortable. You're not here to explain yourself to those who can't see your vision. You're here to become the person you're meant to be. And that process doesn't need an audience. The people who are meant to support you will do so without needing to know every single detail. The ones who aren't meant for your journey, well, they'll remove themselves once they realize they no longer have access to you. Silence isn't a weakness. Privacy isn't isolation. In fact, it's strength. It's clarity. It's the understanding that your path is yours alone, and not everyone needs a front row seat to your journey. Some things are meant to be kept sacred, nurtured in solitude until they're strong enough to withstand outside influence. And when you protect your peace, when you guard your energy, and when you focus on your growth without unnecessary interference, that's when you truly begin to thrive. So, stay focused, stay quiet, and don't let anyone have more access to your life than they deserve. You are the architect of your own future. Protect that power, and let your journey unfold in its own time, without the need for external validation.